Hey everyone, and welcome to my brand new YouTube channel. I'm the Tipsy Intuitive, and I am an intuitive tarot reader that is here to provide you a little bit of insight and practical guidance to help you navigate through whatever is going on in your world right now. I thought that since I was going to be all up in your energetic business, then it might be a good idea and only fair for me to let you know a little bit about me in terms of who I am, what I do, how I read, and other little tidbits that might be helpful in your getting to know me a little bit better. So let's get started. Who I am is a regular cocktail and wine loving lady who happens to hear voices from my spiritual squad that's made up of my ancestors, angels, and spirit guides. I picked up my first tarot deck when I was about 10 years old, and I haven't strayed very far from it since then. But over the past year or so, I've been doing readings for others pretty consistently and thought that I'd give a shot at expanding it to people around the world. It's something that I enjoy very much, and I'm also a certified life coach, so I tend to infuse my readings with a little bit of practicality and actionable steps that you can take to help you navigate through your life path just a little bit easier. What I do is I use a wide assortment of tarot, oracle, Lenormand, and Kipper decks to receive messages from my spirit squad, and I translate those into guidance for what's happening to you right now. Um, it's an interesting process where, I receive little bits and pieces of messages. Sometimes it's in the form of songs, sometimes it's little phrases or words that help provide a little bit more clarity into what the cards are telling me. My goal in all of this is to give you insight and clarity in life situations. It's absolutely not to tell you what to do because as humans, we all have free will, but it's important to understand the environment that we're operating in so we can make the best decisions for ourselves as humanly possible. How I read. So, I have an entire process when I do readings. It starts with me meditating and tapping into the energy of whomever I'm reading for. In the case of YouTube, it's going to be for the collective of a given zodiac sign. So I spend a little time doing that. I ask my spirit squad for protection and insight. I ask them to only provide me with messages that are for your highest good, nothing more, nothing less. I typically shuffle the cards off camera, but I pull them on camera, and that's just for the sake of time because I don't know that everyone wants to necessarily see me shuffling all of these card decks and taking up their time. So, once I do that, I tend to lay out all of the cards at one time. Individual readers all have their own system, their own process of how they do things, but I find it to be the most helpful when you have all of the cards out at one time so you can see the full picture and really connect the dots to come up with a cohesive story for you. I tend to start with oracle cards to get an overall sense of what's happening to you. And then I try and finish off with another oracle card that will give you a little bit of advice or something to think about after you've had the reading. But in between, there are a lot, it depends on the situation or the question that's being asked. I lay out a spread and I use a lot of clarifiers from different decks to make sure that we have all of the information possible for you guys. As far as everything else, I am a Libra sun, Sagittarius moon, and a Virgo Venus and rising. I do have a day job, so this is something that I just enjoy. I like helping people. I think that it actually helps me a little bit too in terms of growing as a person and as a reader. I find myself often amazed at the feedback that I've gotten from people in terms of how a given reading resonates and how they were able to sort of see things from a different perspective. And that to me is incredibly gratifying. So that's why I do what I do. I've gotten a lot of questions about whether or not I will do private readings. For the moment, no, not so much. I keep them pretty limited, but that might change over time, especially as I figure out my schedule and how this entire YouTube thing works going forward. So, hopefully, that gave you a little bit more insight into who I am and why I'm here. I'm so glad that we crossed paths, and I do hope that you will stick around and check out some of my readings. And if not, I wish you all the best. And if so, I look forward to seeing you very, very soon. Sending you all huge, huge hugs and take care.